Now at 9, Freeman Health Systems hosts a miracle market to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. Plus, students at Crowder College get a new piece of technology allowing them to dive into their inner workings of the human body. And a Pittsburgh-based organization dedicated to addressing pet overpopulation has a new home.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe. A Chanute, Kansas man is dead following a 2-vehicle crash yesterday. An eastbound vehicle on a K39 highway just west of Chanute crossed the center line and collided with a semi. The driver of the eastbound vehicle, 68-year-old Danny Romine of Chanute, was pronounced dead at the scene. Authorities in Monette, Missouri asked for information after a stabbing incident on Thursday. Authorities responded to the 500 block of 4th Street around 6:15 p.m. That's where they found a 31-year-old man with a single stab wound to the stomach. EMS took the victim to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators are working to identify the suspect. Authorities in Ottawa County, Oklahoma arrest 2 men for allegedly trying to firebomb the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office. It happened around 10 Sunday night. ATF agents say a Molotov cocktail was thrown at the front door of the office, but did not light. Court documents show the men told investigators they did it because they held a grudge against the police. You can find more information about the case on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with the first look at weather.
Well, it turned out to be another dreary one for us today. Clouds, we've had some drizzle, kind of on and off all day long. Now we have some fog, which is settling in. So kind of a dreary, nasty night. 52 for a high, but that was this morning. Look at this, midnight high. We dropped all day, and this is right where we should be for this time of the year. But watch out the fog. It's going to continue to build in overnight, so visibilities are going to be dropping. Of course, the deer are moving, so if you are going to be out tonight, be careful. A little bit of drizzle is kind of skirting across our northern counties. Besides that, the clouds are going to break up a little bit and then kind of thicken back up once again late tonight. And again, that patchy fog burning off back to 43 by 10 a.m. We do have some chances for rain as we go into the weekend. We're going to be looking at that here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. A Joplin-based nonprofit is helping local women in need get free mammograms. Hope for You Breast Cancer Foundation today donated a check worth $7,500 each to the mammogram funds at Mercy Hospital Joplin and Freeman Health System. The money will provide free mammograms to women who are underinsured or do not have insurance. Over the years, Hope for You's donations have provided more than 2,000 free mammograms for women.
It's a way to say thank you to the people that have supported Wes in his career, and giving is the best thing you can do.
5 or 6 of our hospitals, they're small, they only get $1,000 a year, so I'm hoping we'll give them maybe $2,500 this year and increase the amount we give to Mercy and Freeman and to Show Me Healthy Women. It's going to be used wisely, and I just can't believe it.
Hope for You has no paid staff members. The money donated to the nonprofit goes directly to help women get mammograms regardless of their financial situation. Folks in Joplin today were able to do some Christmas shopping while supporting the Children's Miracle Network. Freeman Health System today hosted its Miracle Market. It's a 2-day shopping event where people can buy jewelry, home decor, crafts, and specialty items with 20% off all sales, helping to furnish and maintain Freeman's neonatal ICU.
We have many children that are being serviced by Children's Miracle Network. They are getting medical equipment. We're helping with prescription costs. We're helping out with the NICU and our pediatric departments here at Freeman Health System. We're helping with transportation when children are sent out of the area for specialty care.
This is the 22nd year Freeman has hosted the Miracle Market. 4 staters gathered today near Neosho to take a journey to Bethlehem. Racine Christian Church hosted the free event, giving people an in-depth look at the nativity scene. The walkthrough outdoor drama features alternate paths, interactive scenes, and real animals. This is the 22nd year of the journey to Bethlehem. It will be open again tomorrow from 5 p.m. to 9. The city of Miami, Oklahoma is ready for Christmas. Officials today lit up the city's Christmas tree. Residents in attendance were able to get some sweet treats, see Santa, and sing along with students. They are also encouraged to dress in ugly Christmas sweaters to get into the holiday spirit. The city will host its Christmas parade tomorrow at 4 p.m. Millions of families are starting to deck the halls for the holidays. Even though inflation has driven up prices, Christmas tree businesses are busy. Fox News multimedia reporter Kennedy Hayes has more.
Farmers in this area tell me that they are fully stocked. There should be a real Christmas tree for everyone who wants one, and that hasn't always been the case. Although prices have increased, demand appears to be high. People are choosing to bring home a real tree this year for different reasons.
It was too heavy and the lights died, so I came back to the real tree.
I got tired of pulling the fake Christmas tree out with the lights already attached to it. I wanted to do it the old school way, so we are actually expecting, and we're excited about our new baby, but we wanted to start a new family tradition.
Others say they've been coming to Richardson's Tree Farm for decades, just south of the Wisconsin border. Wisconsin is one of the top 5 states in the U.S. that grows Christmas trees.
Pacific Northwest, Oregon, then you go to the mountains of North Carolina. It's starting to move up into Virginia as well. And then that upper Great Lakes, Michigan, Wisconsin.
Farmers say it can take up to 10 years to grow a tree, and weather can be a wild card each year.
On our farm this year, we planted 13,000 seedlings. They're about 14 to 20 inches tall when we plant them on our fields. And I lost probably 40 to 50% of those seedlings this year because of this drought.
In addition to weather setbacks, owners say the cost of labor, fertilizer, and fuel went up this year, driving the price of an average tree to $90. That's up $10 from last year. Some shoppers say the price is worth it.
Because it brings life to the whole family instead of just getting it from the basement.
The National Christmas Tree Association says some other areas may have a tight supply of Christmas trees this year. Farms tend to borrow trees from other states from time to time, so it's important to do your research before heading out to your nearest Christmas tree farm. In Spring Grove, Illinois, Kennedy Hayes, Fox News.
Coming up, one less representative in the House.
A historic moment on Capitol Hill as the House voted to oust one of its freshman congressmen from office. I'm Madla Rivera in Washington with the latest on now former Congressman George Santos coming up.
Crowder College showcased its new digital dissection table. The Anatomage table is a digital cadaver lab that uses images from real human bodies. KOAM's Fernanda Silva was there and shows us how it works. Viewers should be advised this story features detailed medical procedures.
There has been a lot of oohs and ahs and a lot of the gasp, and it's really been exciting.
The reason for all the reactions in Crowder College is their new Anatomage table. The two is a digital cadaver lab that uses images from real human bodies.
Victor was 33 years old at the time of his death and died of leukemia. So when we look at his anatomy, we can see the pathology that's there. Victor has an enlarged liver, an enlarged spleen, and enlarged lymph nodes due to the stage of leukemia that he was at the time of his death.
I love that they have not just one body you can look at, and they are actual people that donated their body to science. It's not just an AI generated situation, it's a real person with a real cause of death.
A detailed image was taken every 0.5 millimeter along each of the 5 cadavers available in the two, including Victor's, allowing 3D visualization of the entire body.
Man, it is mind-blowing. I mean, even from a perspective of somebody who's not interested in science, essentially, this is something that's just amazing from a technology standpoint, but even from an instructional standpoint, it's a game changer.
Students will have the opportunity to study every organ system of the human body and using the Anatomosh table, students will get back there and they will do a up close and personal invasive examination of every organ system.
In Pineville, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
Roughly 100 students will have the opportunity to learn using the tool every semester. The plan is also to partner with the McDonald County High School. Future treatments of serious health conditions may soon involve tiny living robots that are created from human cells. They're called anthrobots, a term of scientists created them using human cells from the trachea. Part of the reason why they use those cells are because they are covered with cilia, which are tiny hair-like projections. The scientists say the experiments are at an early stage, but they hope that one day the anthrobots will be able to help heal wounds or damaged tissue. Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later, the Seneca Indians competed for a football game championship today. We'll have the highlights.
Well, of course, another dreary one for us today. We did have a little bit of drizzle out there. It did not amount to much. We're in a new month, December 1st, believe it or not, but only 1/100th of an inch of rain for us today, which again was pretty much a misty drizzle across the region, but that puts us still 13 inches behind, which we're not going to close that gap over the next 4 weeks. Nice shot. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. We are downtown, looking off toward the north and to the east. Still a little bit of a breeze. As that breeze starts to diminish overnight, that patchy fog will get a little bit thicker, so be careful out there. But temperatures sliding back through the 30s. I think most of us are going to kind of sit mid-30s, so a couple more degrees compared to where we are at right now, but you can see that kind of foggy mist across the region. Unfortunately, we're going to see that and thicken up. Let's go into tomorrow morning. I'm going to stop this about 7:30 in the morning. Visibility is lower, a little bit thicker on the Kansas side, and then once you get down into the Ozark Mountains south of Interstate 44. We've had a little bit of drizzle that has rotated through, but most of us will stay dry tonight. You can see a few snow showers shooting across northern parts of Missouri. Here's our next little wave out across parts of Arizona and New Mexico. Doesn't have a lot of moisture with it, but you can see this little kink in the winds, but it will give us some clouds and a few random showers as we go into the weekend. All right, let me step through time. Most of us mid-30s by morning. Little bit of sunshine by the noon hour, pushing 50. Clouds thicken up again during the afternoon. You can see a few random showers, especially our southern counties. Now, Nevada high right around 50, but you go south to Bentonville a little bit closer to 60. So there's going to be about an 8-degree spread across the region. Tomorrow evening, a couple random showers. Any that do develop out of here by Sunday morning. Mid-30s once again. As we go into Sunday afternoon, mostly cloudy skies, maybe a notch or two warmer. Highs about 56, maybe 57 degrees. But Sunday night, another little wave rotates through. This could give us a few additional random showers Sunday night into Monday morning, and then we'll drop back near freezing. So if we look at the weekend as a whole, 55 tomorrow, a few evening showers, 56 on Sunday, of course. Saturday night is going to be cold, but this is pretty close to where we should be for the beginning of December. We had this weak wave passing by, the second one moving in on Sunday, a third one early next week, but they don't have any moisture. Then we get into this ridge, and that's going to help our temperatures warm up as we get into the second half of next week, which is going to be pretty nice. 55 on Saturday, 56 Sunday, 55 on Monday. Tuesday looks good, Wednesday looks good, but some showers start to sneak in late Thursday and Friday, but temperatures pretty good with highs into the 60s. Elise?
Coming up, the end of the ceasefire.
The sights and sounds of war are back in Israel and Gaza. I'm Nate Foy in northern Israel. I have the details coming up.
Inflation is easing, but consumers are still holding back on spending. The core personal consumption expenditures price index, which is the Federal Reserve's main inflation gauge, rose 0.2% last month, not including gas and food prices. The index ended up 3.5% for the year. UPS is making some changes to try to make sure your Christmas gifts arrive on time. Fox multimedia reporter Chelsea Torres is in Charlotte to find out what they're doing differently this holiday season.
The company's already hiring about 100,000 workers just for the holidays, but now they're bringing in some new technology. Holiday season is peak season for UPS.
We started planning the holiday season not even before we had finished last year's holiday season.
It's all hands and bots on deck for the millions of packages processed at this Greensboro, North Carolina UPS facility.
We're looking at processing on our peak day over 2.5 million packages this year on a single day.
UPS engineers say each year the facility adds new technology, efficiency grows 3 to 5%. This year, a camera scanning tunnel sorts and distributes packages faster. There are also automated guided vehicles, or AGVs, that help get larger packages ready for shipment.
The AGVs, although they are moving the packages where we used to have the drivers, those drivers may be assisting another employee. Careful that brown thing.
At the Charlotte UPS facility, almost every step from sorting packages to heading out for delivery is automated. Simulators are used to train future drivers. And just like other delivery services, if you're expecting a package from UPS, you'll receive a picture when it's delivered.
This peak, what we started too is what we call the photo scan. So what we do is we have our drivers, they go out there and not only they scan the packages upon the delivery, but we take a photo.
Sending your packages early is key, but you will pay a few extra dollars just to have your packages sent via UPS or FedEx before Christmas. However, the U.S. Postal Service did waive all surcharges for the holiday season. In Charlotte, Chelsea Torres, Fox News.
More kids are asking for video game related gifts than actual toys for the holidays this year. That's what a new study conducted by the Entertainment Software Association says. Researchers say almost 60% of girls and 86% of boys between ages of 10 to 17 want virtual world-related gifts. Gaming platform Roblox reported more than 70 million average daily users in November, up 20% from last year. Fortnite and Minecraft boast similar user numbers as well. Up next, we'll check out McDonald's newly revamped hamburgers, 7 years in the making. You soon might notice some changes to McDonald's burgers. The Wall Street Journal reports that the fast food chain has been working to improve its signature burger for the last 7 years, and they are ready to be shown to the world. The report says there has been more than 50 changes to the burgers, including a new buttery brioche bun. McDonald's says it does not expect costs to go up and hopes to have the new burger recipe in all U.S. locations by early next year. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. House lawmakers today vote on whether to expel Congressman George Santos. Plus, how Israel and Hamas are responding after a temporary ceasefire between the two sides expires.
You're watching the 4 States Most Watched News.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snowe. An overwhelming majority of House lawmakers voted to boot George Santos from Congress. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera is in Washington with more on today's historic vote.
Less than a year after being sworn in to represent New York's 3rd District, George Santos left Capitol Hill disgraced, no longer a member of Congress. Within hours, the office once his, consequently transitioning to reflect George Santos no more.
At the end of the day, with overwhelming votes, we affirmed that code of ethics and expelled George Santos.
The expulsion of the 35-year-old lawmaker marking an historic moment for Washington. Santos becoming only the 6th House member to be expelled in the chamber's 234-year history.
It's not a partisan issue, it's a right and wrong issue.
Friday's vote, with 311 lawmakers affirming to remove Santos, comes in the wake of a scathing ethics report, which concluded Santos sought to exploit his House candidacy for personal profit. Still, 4 top House GOP leaders voted to keep Santos in office, as others voiced their concerns about expelling an elected member of Congress.
For me, without a conviction, despite a damning ethics report, I felt that it was inappropriate to deny those constituents in his congressional district their right to representation.
As for Santos, who has maintained his innocence, his replacement will be determined by special election.
I mean, it hasn't sunken in 100%, but it's really a tough thing to digest.
According to law, New York's governor has 10 days to schedule that special election, which then must be held 70 to 80 days after she announces a date. In Washington, Matthew Rivera, Fox News.
On social media, New York Governor Kathy Hochul has since announced she is prepared to fill Santos's vacancy, adding the people of Long Island deserve nothing less. The Supreme Court says former Justice Sandra Day O'Connor has died at age 93 due from complications from dementia. O'Connor became the first woman to serve on the High Court when then President Ronald Reagan appointed her in 1981. She was a moderate conservative who upheld abortion rights and affirmative action. Her vote in the 2000 Bush v. Gore case helped ensure George W. Bush would become president. A temporary ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is over after Hamas refused to free the final 20 female hostages in Gaza. Israeli forces say they hit more than 200 targets in Gaza today. Fox News correspondent Nate Foy has more from Israel.
Thick smoke rising from Gaza as a temporary ceasefire between Israel and Hamas breaks down. Israeli jets hitting multiple targets within Gaza, including in the city of Han Yunis in the south. Nearby, the IDF is dropping leaflets, urging civilians to move to evacuation zones. Hamas is also firing rockets and missiles towards central and southern Israel on Friday. The Iron Dome intercepted each one. As the strikes intensify, negotiators work to return to a pause in fighting.
We're determined to do everything we can to get everyone home, to get them reunited with their families, including pursuing the process that had worked for 7 days.
The initial truce, extended twice this week, is now over. Hamas claims Israel violated the agreement first, but Israeli officials deny that and promise to carry on with their operation against Hamas.
Hamas decided to terminate the pause by failing to release all the kidnapped women as it was obligated to do so, and kidnapped children, and by resuming rocket fire.
At least 130 Israeli hostages remain in Hamas captivity in Gaza. Their families now calling on the Red Cross to deliver critical medical care and humanitarian aid to their loved ones.
Hamas is supposed to provide them access to the remaining hostages that have gun wounds, but those that have been left behind are dying each day without that medical attention.
Here on the northern front, Israel's Iron Dome intercepted 2 launches from Hezbollah terrorists in Lebanon. In northern Israel, Nate Foy, Fox News.
A bit later, a southeast Kansas animal shelter has a new home.
Well, of course, another dreary one for us today. We did have a little bit of drizzle out there. It did not amount to much. We're in a new month, December 1st, believe it or not, but only 1/100th of an inch of rain for us today, which again was pretty much a misty drizzle across the region. But that puts us still 13 inches behind, which we're not going to close that gap over the next 4 weeks. Nice shot. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. We are downtown, looking off toward the north and to the east. Still a little bit of a breeze. As that breeze starts to diminish overnight, that patchy fog will get a little bit thicker, so be careful out there. But temperatures sliding back through the 30s. I think most of us are going to kind of sit mid-30s, so a couple more degrees compared to where we are at right now, but you can see that kind of foggy mist across the region. Unfortunately, we're going to see that and thicken up. Let's go into tomorrow morning. I'm going to stop this about 7:30 in the morning. Visibility is lower, a little bit thicker on the Kansas side, and then once you get down into the Ozark Mountains south of Interstate 44. We've had a little bit of drizzle that has rotated through, but most of us will stay dry tonight. You can see a few snow showers shooting across northern parts of Missouri. Here's our next little wave out across parts of Arizona and New Mexico. It doesn't have a lot of moisture with it, but you can see this little kink in the winds. but it will give us some clouds and a few random showers as we go into the weekend. All right, let me step through time. Most of us mid-30s by morning. Little bit of sunshine by the noon hour, pushing 50. Clouds thicken up again during the afternoon. You can see a few random showers, especially our southern counties. Now, Nevada high right around 50, but you go south to Bentonville a little bit closer to 60. So there's going to be about an 8-degree spread across the region. Tomorrow evening, a couple random showers. Any that do develop out of here by Sunday morning. Mid-30s once again. As we go into Sunday afternoon, mostly cloudy skies, maybe a notch or two warmer. Highs about 56, maybe 57 degrees. But Sunday night, another little wave rotates through. This could give us a few additional random showers Sunday night into Monday morning, and then we'll drop back near freezing. So if we look at the weekend as a whole, 55 tomorrow, a few evening showers, 56 on Sunday. Of course, Saturday night is going to be cold, but this is pretty close to where we should be for the beginning of December. We had this weak wave passing by, the second one moving in on Sunday, a third one early next week, but they don't have any moisture. Then we get into this ridge, and that's going to help our temperatures warm up as we get into the second half of next week, which is going to be pretty nice. 55 on Saturday, 56 Sunday, 55 on Monday. Tuesday looks good, Wednesday looks good, but some showers start to sneak in late Thursday and Friday, but temperature is pretty good with highs into the 60s. Elise?
Coming up in sports, Seneca High School football plays in the Class 3 state championship. Plus, Joplin and Pittsburgh High School basketball square off. But John Dales has those stories and more up next.
Seneca High School football is 13-0. Today, the Indians bring their perfect record to Columbia for the Class 3 state title game, trying to finish off an unbeaten season. Seneca entering Faurot Field in the Class 3 state championship. Indians taking on Central High School of Park Hill, Missouri. Opening drive of the game, Kaysen Murphy finds Job Bryant down near the goal line. He gets in for a touchdown. Central gets out to a 26-0 lead in the first half. Seneca's got some work to do in the second quarter, showing a little bit of life. Gavin Hoover goes deep. Ethan Altick is there for the catch. That's a 41-yard pickup. And it sets up Jackson Mars rushing up the middle into the end zone for the touchdown. Seneca finally on the board. Indians down at halftime, 26-6. Third quarter now, Seneca trailing 42-10. Little bit of trickery here. Wide receiver Ethan Altick throws deep to Blake Skelton. He's able to stay in bounds and get into the end zone. Indians down just 42-28. It's a two-possession game. Fourth quarter now, same score. Gavin Hoover on the move. He gets inside the 5-yard line in this quarterback scramble. Then Jackson Mars scores his fourth touchdown of the day. Suddenly, it's a one-possession game, 42-34. Next Seneca possession, though, Mars fumbles the football. Joe Bryant picks it up, and that ices it for the Rebels. Seneca's comeback too little too late. Final score 48-34. Indians are Class 3 state runner-ups, and Brock has more.
Hey John, the Seneca Indians are making their first trip to the state title game in about a decade. Now, Seneca did get down 26-0 in the first half, but Seneca did go on a 34-16 run to give themselves a shot late in that game.
We do. Schematically, we didn't make a whole lot of adjustments. What we saw is that we were kind of hurting ourselves. There wasn't a ton to change. We tweaked a few things defensively to give us a better chance to cover those guys. Offensively, you looked at it and it was us. You know, we were kind of getting in the way of ourselves, and we weren't going to change anything. We wanted it to be a physical football game, and that's what I told them. We're going to go out and run the football and see how physical we can be in the second half. Quarterback's extremely good. He gets the ball out of his hand extremely fast, and you know we tried to bring some pressure in the second half, and they got a really good screen game. They got a lot of answers.
Central Park Hills had 629 yards of total offense in this game. Now looking past that, the Seneca senior class loses a big chunk going into next year. But with that being said, they still get to go home with a nice piece of hardware. In Columbia, Brock Baldridge, KOAM Sports.
Thanks, Brock. Meanwhile, high school basketball season getting underway. Tonight we have a Missouri-Kansas cross-state battle between Pittsburgh and Joplin. Pittsburgh girls basketball at home, taking on Joplin tonight. Early in the first quarter of this game, Jackie Hall attacks the basket. She scores through tough defense. That puts the Purple Dragons up by 4. Joplin responds though. Off the miss, Riley Kelly 3. Bailey Owens gets the second chance bucket. Joplin up by 1. Third quarter now, Eagles up 4. Kelly this time connects from 3. Makes it a 7-point Joplin lead in the third. Closing moments of the third quarter now. It's Hall once again looking up at the clock. She puts up a 3 at the buzzer and it connects. Pittsburgh down 6 entering the fourth quarter, but Joplin kept its foot on the gas pedal. Underneath, bounce pass, Ayanna Kroll finishes it off. Joplin takes this one, final score 37-27. On to the boys' game between Pittsburgh and Joplin immediately following. First quarter of that one, Pittsburgh's Joey Cronister gets the pass in the corner. He hits that 3. First points of the night belong to Pittsburgh. Home squad with a little bit of energy. Later in the first, Joplin sophomore Fred Taylor attacks the lane. He hits the floater. That puts the Eagles up by 1. 3-point Joplin lead after Trenton Gage attacks the basket with a nice fake and he scores the layup. But Pittsburgh would begin to heat up in the second quarter. Mason English creating space with a nice move. He finishes with the left hand at the rim. Then after that, Jaden Brown pump fake. He hits the corner 3. Pittsburgh boys get the best of Joplin. Final score in that one, 66-50. Webb City girls basketball back in action today against Sunrise Christian at the Carthage Lady Tigers shootout. Slow start for both teams, but Abby Sargent gets the early takeaway for Webb, passes up to Whitley Keith. She hits the layup through the contact. Cardinals down 9-6. Second quarter now, Kira Long passes to Mallory Stanley. She knocks down the corner 3. More on Stanley in a bit. Sunrise Christian leads 20-17 at half. Second half now, Stanley gets the ball again and sinks another 3. Here comes Webb, their first lead of the game. She finishes the night with 11 points. Cardinals up by 2. Back and forth all game. Maria Sikic lays down a 2 for Sunrise Christian, though, and Webb can't overcome the late deficit. Cardinals drop this one 47-42. They play for 7th place tomorrow against Olathe East. Back with more news right after this.
Paw Prints on the Heartland in Pittsburgh has a new home. The organization provides affordable spray neutering in Southeast Kansas, and its new location will help continue Paw Prints' mission to address pet overpopulation. I took a look at their new building earlier today to see what new changes are in store. Paw Prints on the Heartland is expanding its services in Southeast Kansas. The organization provides affordable spray neutering surgeries to help prevent pet overpopulation. According to veterinarians.org, in 2021, over 250,000 dogs and cats were killed in animal shelters all across the nation for a lack of a place to call home. And Paw Prints on the Heartland is working to combat this issue of overpopulation for over 2 decades.
So we have actually decreased the cat population by tremendously. We have conducted over 90,000 spay-neuter surgeries over the years.
Due to the area's high demand for spay-neutering surgeries, the organization recently purchased a vacant building off of North Joplin and East 6th Street to provide the community with new services.
We have decided to add a cat rescue and cat adoption room, so we are hoping to expand and provide additional services for the community.
Paw Prints spray neutering services cost $40 per animal. Compared to some veterinarians in the 4 states, it's an 85% decrease in cost. The new facility is set to open around the beginning of 2024. In Pittsburgh, Elise Snowy, KOAM News. Until the renovation is complete, Paw Prints will continue its regular schedule at 21st and Joplin in Pittsburgh. Surgeries can be scheduled by calling 620-232-0907. Coming up, we'll get a sneak peek at the new Eddie Murphy holiday comedy, Candy Cane Lane. Audiences can visit Candy Cane Lane with stars Eddie Murphy and Tracy Ellis Ross this week as the new holiday comedy premieres on Prime Video. We spoke with the stars about the festive fun in store. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
It's beginning to to look a lot like Christmas.
Eddie Murphy and Tracy Ellis Ross lead Prime Video's Candy Cane Lane. The holiday comedy is about a father determined to win his neighborhood's house decorating contest. He makes a pact with an elf who casts a spell that brings the 12 days of Christmas to life.
The joys of making a holiday comedy, a holiday movie. So is it something that is always on, as an actor, on the wish list, on the bucket list?
I don't have a bucket list, but there are a few things that I haven't done. And I hadn't done a Christmas movie. So when the idea of doing this popped up, it was like, hey, well, yeah, I haven't done that. And we found something that was unique and funny, and everything worked out great.
Christmas movies, what I love about them is they're for the whole family. And there's nothing like entertainment that brings everybody together that everybody can watch.
I just want to win this thing.
The stars also spoke about getting competitive, much like some holiday house decorators.
It's like a surprising thing that gets so competitive. What is the surprising thing that each of you get competitive with?
Oh, I think I'm just competitive in general. I think I'm competitive with myself, like I'm not going to fail twice. I don't think I'm competitive with other people. I think it's more myself, although I do like to win.
Yeah, I like to win too.
The comedy is directed by Reginald Hudlin. It reunites him and Murphy for the first time since 1992's Boomerang.
We had definitely been looking for the right project, and this one was just sort of a no-brainer. You know, we both relate to the character. We're both married with kids, and we love Christmas, and the pressure of delivering for the family.
You met with the wrong family.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you with a video of animals playing with Christmas trinkets. We'll see you back here next time. Thanks for making us part of your night.